Ladies and gentlemen, as you probably know, McLaren has recently wrapped up their second Constructors' Trophy in a row in Formula One, and you would imagine that things would be great. But not really. There are actually a lot of tension brewing under the surface, and in this video, we will go through it all. First, we will go through the IndyCar situation, the IndyCar driver Alex Palou lawsuit situation. McLaren has sued this guy for 20 point something million euros. We will talk about that, and then we will talk about the Oscar Piastri situation where he was fucked over by the McLaren pit wall and the strategy team, who are biased against him for Lando and papaya rules and all this type of stuff, and what this means for the title fight. And Lewis Hamilton has also joined the chat, and he also gave some advice to Oscar Piastri about the situation. And we will start with the Alex Palou situation. So, the story begins in 2022, where this guy, Alex, was driving for Chip Ganassi Racing in IndyCar Series. Then he signed a contract with McLaren that he will join them in 2023, where he will be the reserve driver and he will do some F1 testing, like the free practice testing. Eventually, like, the path to Formula One was open for this guy, an American guy. I hope he's American. Either way. But what happened is he already had a contract for 2023 with Chip Ganassi Racing. So even though he had a contract with the Chip Ganassi Racing, he still signed a contract with the McLaren people. And because of it, there was a court hearing in the off-season where it was decided that he will do the season with Chip Ganassi Racing for 2023 and he will join McLaren in 2024. Like, it will be delayed by 1 year. So that's the gist of it. Now, in the interim, in 2023, he went ahead and became the champion in IndyCar. Oh, he is from Spain, so he's not American. Anyway, so Alex Palou became a IndyCar champion again. I think this was his second championship in the series in 2023 with Chip Ganassi Racing. And meanwhile, in 2023, McLaren fired Daniel Ricciardo because he was shit and then replaced him with Oscar Piastri. And the crazy thing is, in 2023, which was the Max Verstappen season, Oscar Piastri had a sprint win, which is saying something. A season like 2023 is a season, and is a season where if you're standing on the top step and your name is not Max Verstappen, that's one hell of an achievement. So Oscar Piastri got a W in a sprint race, obviously, and he won that from pole in Qatar, which is a high-speed circuit, and high-speed corners are a strength of Max Verstappen's Red Bull. Still, he managed to win that. So things were going great at McLaren, and Oscar Piastri had a multi-year contract, 2023 and 2024. So big shout out to Mark Webber for securing this guy a great deal. Now, in 2024, McLaren had the drivers locked in. Lando Norris was not going anywhere. Oscar Piastri had a multi-year contract. So Alex Palou, who won the IndyCar in 2023, he is like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not going to McLaren. I'm just going to stay with Chip Ganassi Racing. Because if you will go to McLaren, obviously he will race for McLaren in IndyCar, and that's a new team, so he has to get used to that. And more importantly, the path to Formula One is now closed. Because Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, they seem like a solid team. And it seemed like in 2024 and beyond, McLaren is not going to let them go. And they didn't let them go, obviously, because in 2024, they won the Constructors. And in 2025, recently, they also won the Constructors. Alex Palou, on the other hand, he breached the contract in 2023. He's like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to stay with Chip Ganassi Racing. And he actually won the 2024 and 2025 championships as well. So both parties, McLaren and Alex Palou, achieved tremendous amounts of success by staying where they were. It was just a bit of they tried to do something and it didn't work out, and it was actually the right thing. Fate fixed it for them. Now, for the breach of the contract, McLaren is suing Alex Palou for like 20 point something million, and 20.7 million US dollars. That's how much Alex Palou has to pay to McLaren for breaching the contract. And Now he is accusing Zach Brown that it was based on lies and false impressions, and Zach Brown was accused of deleting some WhatsApp conversations, that evidence, and he actually presented those evidence in some court hearing, so things are heating up in that regard. And also, Alex claimed that he led him on, which I totally 100% believe. When in 2023, Alex Palou was there with Chip Ganassi Racing, why did you sign Oscar Piastri with a 2-year contract while Lando Norris was also locked? That basically meant that Alex had zero chance of going into Formula One. But maybe things could have happened differently. But either way, Alex got cold feet, and he stayed with Chip Ganassi Racing. Good for him. Won 2 more seasons, 2024 and 2025. So it ended up working well for him. Now Zach Brown, who has deleted some WhatsApp conversations allegedly, according to Alex, and Alex has demonstrated some extra evidence that he has deleted those WhatsApp messages, and he has been accused of stringing him along. So that's the situation that McLaren needs to deal with. Obviously, they're going to get some money out of this guy. I don't know how much. It's definitely not going to be $20.7 million, because a Formula One seat was technically never on the cards for Alex. Not after how 2024 Formula One season panned out. Oscar Piastri was good in that season. That was his second season in F1. He had multiple victories, great overtaking maneuvers, and in 2025 he is leading the championship. So that was a good call by McLaren, and also a good call by Alex to remain in Chip Ganassi Racing. So technically Alex is right that there was never really a Formula One seat for him, but I guess a contract is a contract and he has to pay some fucking money. So that's the first big problem that these motherfuckers have, the McLaren people has. This has recently come up to surface again because the court proceedings are going on. So that's the big problem that they need to deal with. The second Formula One related issue that these guys are going through is the fallout that they had between 2 of the calmest and coolest drivers. It blows my mind to think how you mess this up. How Lando Norris is a very nice person, I assume. He's a cool, not cool as much as Oscar, but he's a very nice person. I don't think he is a guy who comes to the office with hate in his heart, and he's not manipulative is what I'm trying to say. Oscar Piastri on the other side, same. He is a chill person and all that. And these motherfuckers, they are so inept and incapable that they're still fucking that relationship up. They will definitely be tripping over each other if it was something like Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, or Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. They will, imagine that. They had so chill drivers, and they're still fucking it up. So let's go ahead, and this is the pinned post that McLaren has on their Instagram profile. Let's go ahead and read the comments, shall we? So the first comment says, as a Max fan, congrats to Oscar. Then we have the one from the official Mexico GP that we don't care about. And then, amazing how you treat one of your drivers like that. Imagine how you treat the stuff in the background. This guy is a bit unhinged. Then Williams Racing, obviously it's going to be official. Then Oscar. Then another one. Do you still remember you have 2 drivers? 3 question marks. Do you still remember one of your drivers contributed more points? 3 question marks. So this guy is referring to the podium celebration of McLaren after they have won the constructors title. Oscar Piastri was not there. He was in the TV pen, and he saw in the telly, it's not the telly, but I mean it was a big screen where the celebrations were happening, and it was kind of comical. What a shame you didn't even wait for your driver to celebrate. Oscar deserves better. Congratulations to Oscar and only Oscar. And then we have to, yes, Oscar deserves a team that brought him better. Here is only favoritism to British rider Lando Norris. How do you celebrate without the driver leading the WDC? Speaks volumes about the team and its priorities. So basically what happened is Oscar Piastri, Lando was on the podium, and when he was going off the podium to go to the media pen, the team basically dragged him to the podium and they celebrated. So, it is not like they deliberately planned to keep Oscar out. And the entire situation is aggravated based on how the Singapore Grand Prix panned out, because like Lando got that podium by hitting Oscar and, you know, shoving him off the way. And the team didn't even warn Lando about that move. Team didn't even call up Lando and say that, hey, this is papaya rules. Remember our principles. The team did not say that. Earlier in Austria, earlier in Hungaroring, where Oscar Piastri was attacking Lando and he was just getting too close and he locked up a couple of times, then immediately the pit wall called up Oscar and said that, remember how we go racing. No contact was made. But in Singapore, Lando made contact with Oscar and they didn't even say anything. And that brings us to this situation where the battle between these two guys are going to heat up. And this is something that I predicted at the initial stages of the season, because initially these two guys were like, oh, I'm just taking it weekend by weekend, maximizing the result and all that gay stuff. But I knew that as the number of races tumble down, the pressure is going to mount up, and these guys are so evenly matched that things will be bad, and also the Lando favoritism is going to kick in at some point of time. And all of that has happened. Now let's go ahead and read the comments. God, I want Oscar to go rogue so badly. Give Oscar equal treatment, he deserves better. Treating Oscar like Daniel when Lando isn't Max. This is unbelievable. And some official people, papaya rules. Let's just read about it. Slow pit stops do not count. They are a part of racing until Lando had one. He is referring to Monza 2025. Hard racing but no contact until Lando made a contact, Singapore 2025. Keeping everything fair even when unfair penalties are meted out until Oscar got one. They're referring to Silverstone 2025. Front runner get preferential strategy until Lando got it at Hungary and Belgium. And because in Hungary and Belgium, Lando actually had an alternate strategy. In Belgium, Oscar Piastri was saved because of the low dig situation. Otherwise, I definitely think in Belgium, when Lando put on those hards and Oscar was on the mediums, I genuinely thought Lando has a shot. But you know, Lando somehow managed to make some mistake. Either way, this is a very nice comment. So this is awkward. Oscar deserves better. We love you, Oscar. Oscar deserves better. Stop screwing Oscar. It's not fair, blah, blah, blah. So basically, the entire McLaren fan base are now shitting the team, despite the fact that they have dominated this year's championship and won the constructors with 6 races to go. Everybody is on Team Oscar. And also recently, Oscar Piastri had a conversation with Lewis Hamilton in Singapore. Someone asked a question, someone from the media, advice to Piastri in the championship fight, and Lewis said, don't give back any more position. Obviously, he's referring to Monza 2025, and Piastri replies, he has been in that position many times, I accept the advice. Now, the thing is, Oscar Piastri knows that the championship, the Constructors' Championship, is wrapped up, so all bets are off. Right now, we have 6 races to go. Oscar has a 22-point lead over Lando and a 63-point lead over Max Verstappen. Right now, Oscar Piastri knows that hard racing means contact can be made, because Lando just made a contact and gained a position and the team didn't say shit. The team should at least say something to Lando during the race. At least just say something. Even if it is for the cameras, even if it is like for the effect or whatever it is, they should have said something that, hey, you fucked up, you did something. And also, in Singapore, Oscar Piastri had a slow stop. When Lando had a slow stop in Monza, they swapped the places. When Oscar had a slow stop and he lost ground to Lando, they didn't say that Lando lift off for 2 seconds, let Oscar close up a little bit. He lost ground because we fucked up at the pits. That also didn't happen. So Oscar Piastri not only get the fair papaya rules thing, but he also didn't get get his advantage back due to the slow pit stop. So I think he lost 3 seconds or something in the slow pit stop. And now Oscar knows that 6 races to go. He still has the advantage. He's going to do what Max Verstappen did to Lando last year, and he's not going to forget it. And it's going to happen. And I'm very excited for the last 6 races. Oscar Piastri wants to put Lando in the wall, Max Verstappen wants to put Lando in the wall. Lando is going to be put in the wall, and it will be a Verstappen versus Piastri for the 2025 World Championship. Verstappen has a good car. He's gonna win the next 6 races, majority of the next 6 races. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.